Hello everyone, to dear student and friends. As you aware of, this is the pharmaceutical chemistry 2 classroom, and we are studying about the chapter of antibiotics. And in antibiotics, we have studied a lot regarding the classification of antibiotics, along with their general introduction, related to their spectrum of activity, and individual agent about penicillin and cephalosporin. So today we are going to start a new class of antibiotics that are generally acts on the bacterial protein, that generally inhibits the bacterial protein synthesis, and that by they are showing their antibacterial activity, and they are all of them are wide spectrum, having wide spectrum of activity, and they are bacteriostatic in nature at lower concentration, but sometimes they are also bactericidal in higher concentration also. So let's start today's topic, that the antibiotics that targets on the protein synthesis. Under this class, we are going to study about erythromycin, tetracycline, and chloramphenicol. We are going to see the general introduction about the drugs along with their mechanism of action. We'll see the structure, but the structure is not in your syllabus, but still we are going to just focus on the structure, how they are. The structure represent their bacterial activity. Along with that, we are going to cover the brand name, general dosage form, along with their uses and properties. So first of all in this class is erythromycin. Erythromycin comes under the classes of macrolide antibiotics. Macrolide means macro, that means bigger. So if you can see the structure, this is a very bigger structure. The molecular weight is near 730 or 733 gram per mole. So this is a narrow spectrum antibiotic, generally effective against gram-positive bacteria. And this antibiotic erythromycin, along with the other class, that is clarithromycin, moxithromycin, azithromycin, they are very much useful for respiratory tract infection like pharyngitis or other infection of respiratory tract. So mechanism of action is the inhibition of protein synthesis by attaching to the 50S ribosome. So this the protein synthesis occurs in ribosome of cell, where the amino acid tRNA generally attached to the 30S or 50S ribosome. If the antibiotic incorporates in the 30S or 50S ribosome, then the protein synthesis hampered, and that's how the faulty protein produces, and as a result it generally inhibit the protein synthesis as well as the effectiveness of protein, bacterial protein. So this comes under macrolide class, which is also bacteriostatic. In terms of brands, it is very much available in the brand name of Erythrox, Erimax, Althrocin, Etomin, etc. And the tablet dosage form along with capsule, injectables and topical dosage form are popular. Use the generally used are respiratory tract infection, as I have told yesterday, and the respiratory tract infection are generally caused by streptococcus species, and streptococcus are gram positive bacteria. So they are very much effective against gram positive bacteria. Along with that, they are effective against staphylococcus also. The staphylococcus generally causes any kind of skin infection or itchiness or rashes. Along with the pneumonia, UTI infection is also treatable like syphilis and gonorrhea, and they are also used for odorental infection. Odorental infection are generally infections that generally causes or spread the odor from the infectious area. So they are erythromycin can be used to prevent the odor of this bacterial lesions that can be produced from this infectious area. Also useful for tetanus, anthrax. They are generally bacillus infection, gram positive bacillus infection caused by clostridium tetani or bacillus anthracis. Okay, so in terms of properties, these are white to yellow crystalline powder with having a mass of 733 gram per mole. So see, this is the biggest structure of having a mass of more than 500, and a melting point of having 191 gram 191 degree centigrade. Solubility, this is soluble in acetone, alcohol, and ethyl acetate. And in terms of stability, due to presence of nitrogen, it can emit the toxic fumes of nitrogen oxide, nitric oxide, and for stability, it should be stored in tightly closed container at lower temperature. So next antibiotic comes under this class is very much useful and very much common. You have heard about this tetracycline. Tetracycline is tetra means four, cyclic means cyclic structure. So if you see the structure, it have four cyclic structure that is classified as A, B, C, D. That's why it is named as tetracycline. Tetra means four. So this is a broad spectrum antibiotic that is effective against gram positive and gram negative bacteria. And this tetracycline, it attached to the 30S ribosomes, and it inhibit the protein synthesis by binding to that, whereas the erythromycin was binded to the 50S ribosome. These are bacteriostatic agent. So this is the introduction about tetracycline. One thing to remember regarding tetracycline, that tetracycline is very toxic when it taken with the milk. So you should avoid taking tetracycline with the milk or milk products. Tetracycline having a brand name of acromycin, subamycin, sumycin, lindacycline. So these are available in the ointment form as well as capsule, and the protein synthesis inhibitor antibiotics are available in injectables form also. It is useful against chlamydia, that is a gram negative bacteria that causes the sexual transmitted disease. Along with that, rickettsia, pneumonia is a gram positive bacterial disease. You know that cholera, that is caused by vibrio cholerae, is against a gram negative bacterial disease. Plague is a gram negative bacterial disease. It is also useful in H. pylori, that is Helicobacter pylori infection. Generally, location of Helicobacter pylori is intestine or along with the duodenal area. So it can cause the ulcer. So for treating the Helicobacter pylori induced ulcer, we can use this antibiotic tetracycline. In terms of properties, it is yellow crystalline powder having a mass of 444 gram per mole and having a melting point, moderate melting point on 171 degrees centigrade. It is soluble in generally organic solvent, as that causing the less solubility in polar solvent like alcohol and water. And under exposure to sunlight, it darkens. This is the stability problem of tetracycline. So we need to store it in a tightly closed container, preventing from the penetration of sunlight, preferably at amber colored bottle. So next antibiotic under this class of protein synthesis inhibitor is chloramphenicol. This is also very much common and usually useful as very much known antibiotic chloramphenicol. One thing is to remember chloramphenicol, that it is a very bitter antibiotic. So for formulation purpose or formulating purpose, in a tablet or capsule or other dosage form, it is formulated in such way that the other excipient can mask its bitter taste, whether in tablet or in capsule. So this is also a broad spectrum antibiotic that is effective against gram positive as well as gram negative bacteria. So mechanism of action is like erythromycin. It inhibit the protein synthesis by binding to 50S ribosome. I have told you one sentence regarding the antibiotics that are effective against the protein synthesis, that works on protein synthesis, that you have to remember one sentence, that is buy at 30, sell at 50. So you can remember the antibiotic along with their mechanism of action. Buy at 30, that means A stands for azithromycin, and T stands for tetracycline. These generally bind to the 30S ribosome, and cell at 50. Cell stands for The streptomycin, E stands for erythromycin, and lincosamide and linezolid, they are generally bind to the 50S ribosome. That's why cell at 50. So chloramphenicol under this class of cell, you can remember that C also for cell. These are generally bacteriostatic at lower concentration, but Cidal at higher concentration. So the look at the structure. The nitrobenzene present in the chloramphenicol, that is nitro group. This is benzene. This is nitrobenzene. This represent the bitterness of this chloramphenicol along with its bacterial activity. So brand name chloramphenicol are available in the brand name of Vincol, Chlorwell, Chlorcare. This is very much available in the dosage form of capsule and injectables, but it is available in ophthalmic preparation, also ophthalmic solution, because it is useful in conjunctivitis also. So this is available in tablet also. The general use of chloramphenicol, this it makes it effective against a salmonella typhi that causes the infection of typhoid, the influenza, the e coli causes the disease of urinary tract infection, Neisseria species that causes the Neisseria gonorrhea, that is gonorrhea. This is against the infection of UTI, that is urinary tract infection. Along with that, it is effective against staphylococcus and streptococcus species. That means skin infection along with respiratory tract infection. Along with it is available and effective against chlamydia and rickettsia group of organism. That makes the chloramphenicol is a broad spectrum antibiotic, and it is effective against all kind of bacterial disease. And along with that, it is also very much useful for treating the conjunctivitis. Properties: it is yellow to white crystalline powder with strong bitter taste. It is having a mass of 323 gram per mole and melting point of 151 degrees centigrade. In terms of solubility, it is soluble in alcohol and acetone. And in terms of stability, it is due to presence of nitrogen or a nitro group in the structure, it can also emit the toxic fume of nitric oxide upon heating. So we have to store it in tightly closed container at the lower temperature. So that's all for today, students. Thank you for your attention, and we have started today about the antibiotic that are effective against gram positive as well as gram negative bacteria, and these are common in terms of mechanism of action. That is, they all inhibit the bacterial protein synthesis by binding to the ribosome, either to the 30S or to the 50S Swedberg unit, or that is the part of ribosome. That's how they inhibit the incorporation of tRNA and inhibit the binding or peptide chain of protein synthesis. So hope you enjoyed the lecture and understood something. And if you have any query regarding the antibiotic or any individual agent, you can ask me anything, or you can pin the comment under the comment section. So thank you, students, again, and thank you for your sparing time.